Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
What's good, TV?
Hey, yo, what up? It's your boy Face from Flight School TV, and I'm here with my good guest, Scoop from Scoop Era, man.
Yo,
You've been making
up,
a lot of noise in the city, my
Appreciate it.
Man, so it was really mandatory for me to sit down and talk with you because as a lot of people may know, I do a lot of coverage on the fashion and art scene in Chicago, and I really feel like it don't get the proper respect it deserves because everybody want to focus on the rappers.
Right.
We got a lot of those, you know what I'm saying? But they got a lot of platforms. They got a lot of places they can go.
Exactly.
But I feel like the real stories that don't get told is stories like yours. You know what I'm saying? So let's just start from the beginning because this is our first time chopping it up. You from Chicago?
Yeah, out west Chicago.
That's what's up. So you spent your whole life out west? Or did you?
Yeah, my whole life out west, yup.
All right.
Same house, yup.
How would you describe your childhood growing up as far as you had both parents? Was it?
Yeah, I had both parents. Yeah, I had both parents, 2 older brothers, stay in a family building. Came from a good place, you know.
Yeah. So with the brand that you built right now, you know, if anybody on social media, especially like social media, whether it be music videos or whatever, your brand is seen. It's
Right.
very visible, and you got a large support system. So what do you attribute that support system to?
I just keep going. I mean, I always had people who supported me, but I was like, at first I was working a job, then I was like, I always was into fashion. Then I knew I had support because I knew like the whole city. So I was like, fucking, I'm finna quit this job, start a clothing line, and then it just went from there.
But what made you specifically want to do the fashion lane? Because you know,
I always was into like clothes and like fashion, dressing up, stuff like that. So it's just something I always wanted to do, but never had the courage to do until I started working. I was like, I don't even want to work for people no more. And I was like, fucking, I'm finna just take off with this.
right. And what? So like, if you can think back, like, damn, you know, that was probably the first time I actually spent my money on something. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we all got that moment where we shorties and we gotta just get what our parents give us. Until you get to a certain age, you like, all right, I actually. And with me, it was I remember specifically, it was like the Jabot jeans. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a little bit older, so you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm seeing everybody with the Jabot jeans, the buck 50s, and the Averest coats, the leather Averest coats. You know what I'm saying? So as soon as I got some bread to myself, I'm like, you know what? Them the three things I want on my list.
To be honest, it wasn't even really like that with me. It was like I always like had shit. Like I always had stuff like. So I don't really know. Like I always had what I wanted. So it was never like, oh yeah, I want that. So I had to go get it. Like I always had it. So it was never like a moment where I was like, oh yeah, I finna go buy this, and it was my first time getting it. I always could get what I want.
Right. So did you have any influences growing up that was just like, you know what I'm saying, like pivotal into your personal growth?
And like into the brand, like my clothing line.
We speaking in general terms. We gonna dive more into the brand right in a minute, but more in general that like, man, like somebody that was really steering you towards a certain direction.
Not really. I just came from a good home. Not really. Like, you know, I just came from a good place. I didn't really look up to nobody, none of that.
So what year did you start your brand?
Last year, around this time, but I'm into it. It was like a year and a half ago. I started my brand.
Because it seemed like with the momentum that you got right now,
yeah,
it seemed like it's been around a lot longer than that. Cause
yeah, that's where I go to tell you.
You got it on smash right now, bro.
I always had support. Like I got a huge support system, so it seemed like I've been in it longer than what I have, but I really haven't. Like when I tell people I've been doing it for a year and a half, they be surprised.
Yeah, they
think I've been in it longer.
So like, with it being in the early stages of your brand, what's some of the challenges that you experiencing early on? That because I know I say this when I'm doing Flight School TV, and in the beginning I had a lot of people that was rocking with the brand. They was fucking with it. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I'm doing these interviews or whatever. Let me try to create some shirts with my logo and go along with that. Whole time I'm like, once I got into that shit, I'm like, damn, bro, like I ordered medium to XL,
Mm-hmm.
then, you know what I'm saying, like, them will sell out, but then next thing you know, everybody asking for extra smalls.
Right.
Then you got the other niggas want 3X's. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm like, all right, then I follow up and do that the next order, and I get those sizes. Then them sizes not selling. So that's one thing I know about this retail game
Mm-hmm.
that people don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's like them picking out the right sizes and sometimes sitting on inventory and all that type of stuff. Like, so what's some of the experiences that you had that you'll be like, all right, man, I wish I would have knew that sooner.
You really just gotta really catch your wave. Like, you gotta know who you selling to. Like, my clientele is really like small through like large. I really was doing small through larges at first, and then I was doing small through 2X. But my extra large and my 2X wasn't really selling, so I stopped doing them. Cause I don't really like sending on merchandise. Like, I'm so used to selling out real fast, real fast. But like my mama told me, she was like, "It's you. Every time I don't sell out, I want to throw my product on sale." She told me I gotta stop doing that, cause it's gonna sell regardless. But when it don't be, when I be sitting on it, I just want to throw it on sale, $20. Like, as soon as I throw it on sale, it go quick.
Right.
But I gotta stop learning. I gotta stop doing that.
Right.
But I don't really have that problem. I really like do small through medium, large, then they go fast. But like my bigger sizes, they don't really go fast like that.
So I don't think we really got into the fact that, like, what pushed you into doing the shirts. Well, like what because, you know, coming up in Chicago especially,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of different ways that we see.
Right.
And a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, and they'll rather, oh, I'm gonna go flip this pack, you know what I'm saying, or I'm gonna push this music thing, or, you know, I'm gonna do sports.
Right.
We got a lot of that stigma on our city, and a lot of shorties follow under that.
Mm-hmm.
But now with your brand, amongst others that I see, like, especially coming from Southside Chicago, I see up north coming out with a few brands. I'm seeing a wave
Mm-hmm.
of younger people that's just like, no, like, y'all can do that shit, but the same money that you gonna make flipping that pack, I'm finna make flipping these shirts.
Right.
And that's an entrepreneurial spirit that I don't think get acknowledged.
Mm-hmm.
But what made you go in the fashion lane and be like, you know what, I'm gonna do the shirt shit, I'm gonna do the clothing shit?
I always was into fashion, and then, like I said, I had a big support system. Like, I was telling all my homies and my mom, I was like, even if I drop some shit and it be weak as hell, like, I feel like people still gonna support me off back. And that's how I feel like with my first logo. It was decent, but it wasn't my best work. Like, and people still supported me. So I was like, I'm telling my homie right here, I'm like, yeah, I gotta drop something like an actual logo that people gonna fuck with. Then I dropped the baby, and then people that's when I really took off, when I dropped the baby. And then they started supporting. They was buying it. I had like tracksuits, all type of shit.
So when you thought of your mind, like, all right, I'm already into this fashion shit. Like, it's a no brainer. It's an easy win for me. You know what I'm saying? Because and I salute that for knowing you. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's where a lot of people fuck up. They try to do shit that's out of character.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you already a fly nigga, so it just makes sense. Why wouldn't I put my sense of style into the fashion realm and see some bread off of it? Because knowing yourself. So when it came down to creating your brand, did you pay the graphic designer, or did you design your logo, like your first one, like the one that you said you was like, you know what I'm saying?
My first one, I got it made. I had a graphic designer. He made it. He sent me like 4 images, and then he told me pick out which one. I told him how I wanted it, and then he sent it back to me. I was like, fuck it, I like this one. And then it was just the word Scoop though. It wasn't no baby, none of that. It was just my nickname Scoop with like the waffle cone in the back. But they was buying it, like they was fucking with it. But I was like, I ain't really like it like that. Even though I was selling it, I ain't really like it like that. So I wanted to do something else, like with an actual logo. And then me and my homie came up with the baby, and then it started moving fast.
Yeah, cause like that's if people don't know your brand, especially in Chicago, and somebody mention your brand and be like, yeah, you heard of Scoop Era, and if the name don't catch them right away, they'd be like, yeah, the one with the baby, and then they be like, oh yeah, I seen that, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. So that was your intention, so people that might not know the name, but they know that logo.
Yeah. And then I didn't even want to really call it Scoop. I want to add like, that's why I added arrow on the back. I want to add like a meaning, like, and then Scoop my nickname. So I'm like, I want to have people like wearing my brand. Like, and there was a problem. Like, people was like, "Do you think people will wear your brand with your name on, like representing you?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then I just ran with it.
Right. I mean, why not? Shit,
Mm-hmm.
you see motherfuckers walking around with Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger, you know what I'm saying? Versace. These is people names. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They became, the brand became bigger than the name, but it's still somebody's name. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's dope that you using your name. You know what I'm saying, to put your personal stamp on it, and especially and another thing that I salute you for. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not the type of nigga that I'm not gonna talk to you about everything I love about your brand off
Mm-hmm.
camera. You know what I'm saying? And we get on camera and I act fake. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
no, a lot of shit that I notice about your brand, I really respect it because I interview a lot of brands. I talk
Mm-hmm.
to a lot of brand owners, and I see that these more like I ain't go not to down anybody, not to talk bad about anybody, but I strongly advise a lot of y'all use a lot more creativity and y'all be more original because I see so many brands popping up. They might do the same color schemes as the next
Mm-hmm.
brand, or they might just do certain letters like the next brand.
Right.
But that's one thing that I commend you for because yours is different from anything else that, like, let alone in a fashion, but especially in Chicago, it's like
Right.
it's different.
Mm-hmm.
It's stand alone. Like, I salute you for that. Was that intentional on your
Yeah,
point?
yeah, it was intentional. I like my brand to be like bright. Like I use like a lot of bright colors. Like it got a whole like theme behind it, like scoop, like ice cream. Like it got a whole message behind the brand. Like it just makes sense. So I feel like I gotta do like vibrant. I gotta use like bright colors.
Yeah, and that's something I noticed.
Mm-hmm.
So you was just talking about the meaning behind the brand. Can you get more in depth into what the brand means coming from you?
The brand, man, it's my nickname. Like I had my brother started calling me Scoop a long time ago, like probably like 10 years ago. Like just Scoop, Scoop. But it wasn't really had nothing to do with ice cream. It was just like he called me Scoop because he said I had to scoop on everything, like about everybody. I know everything about everybody, type shit like that. So I just used that as a brand, but I want to incorporate the word with like a meaning to it. So like ice cream, you can use. I want to name my brand something that had a meaning. Scoop, my nickname. Scoop, you can use Scoop with ice cream type shit. You can like do a lot of shit with that name. So if I want to change it around in the future, I could do that because it's so many ways you can use that name.
Right, right.
So that's what I was thinking when I first made my brand.
So what would you like? I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to you, and I'm asking you these questions because everybody else got their own point of view
Mm-hmm.
and their own thought about this is this, this is that. But to hear it directly from you is a whole different thing.
All right.
So when you had the baby crying, what was your hopes of getting across? Like, man, when people see this crying baby, this is what I hope they think.
It wasn't even really like, it was just like I told you, I had the word Scoop, and I was talking to my homie right here. I'm like, I want to do something different, bro. And then he actually gave me like, we came up with the logo together, like, and I was like, yeah, I think they gonna fuck with that. And then we just dropped it. We just dropped it and then put it out. I dropped it on Facebook, dropped it on Instagram. They reacted to it. I'm like, I bet, yeah, this the one. And then we just dropped it.
So, like, any like, you got a, like I said, you got a strong following. A lot of shorties fuck with you. And I
Mm-hmm.
was telling you off camera how I discovered your brand. And you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And I was around a group of young guys that was from out west,
Mm-hmm.
and all they was talking about was scoop this, scoop this, scoop this. I was like, man, I gotta meet this guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like, if it's a shorty that's looking up to you and love what you're doing, man, like, what advice would you give them if they trying to follow in your
I
footsteps?
get that question a lot. I just really tell them like, you need like support, you need money behind the shit, and you just gotta like, you gotta keep going. That's the main three things. You definitely need support, and then you definitely gotta have money behind it and put into your brand. That's the main thing. That's what I always tell them.
Yeah, that's some solid advice, bro. For real, for real. And I hope y'all take heed to that, man, because it ain't it look a lot of times it look easier than what it really be. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And that's why when I do these interviews and I'm chopping it up with people, I make sure I get the full story so people
Right.
can understand. Like, this is if you trying to do this, this is what he did. Now, it might not work for you, but maybe you can take something from his story and
Right.
apply it to your situation. And know what I'm saying? You can win in your own way. I don't encourage everybody to do no copycat scenario. But at what point in time did you realize, like, damn, I'm on to something? Like, because it's one thing for your guys to support you, your neighborhood to support you, but then seeing motherfuckers that you don't know, what I'm saying? Like, that's a whole different thing. At what point in time did you start seeing that? And two, how did that make you feel? Seeing other people wear your shit that you don't know.
To be honest, like probably like a year into the shit, like, but now it's getting like real big. Like I can't even go places like without people stopping me. I can't go to the mall and shop. I can't go nowhere. Like if I go to the mall out west, like where I'm at, people attacking me. I can't even shop in peace. You got some shirts on, you got some hoodies on, you let me get this. I've been in your inbox. You don't even reply. Like I can't go nowhere. Like for real. And then I'm like, it don't really make me feel no type of way. It's just like damn, like people really want this shit. Like this shit really like drugs. Like people really want this shit.
Yeah.
Like that's how I be making me feel.
That's what's up, man. Because like right now, like a lot of people, if people not paying attention, they might not realize it. But you got guys that's in the fashion lane that's bigger than the brands that they might be working with. You got a guy like Virgil that his name hold more weight than this actor that has been in 100 movies.
Right.
Know what I'm saying? Or this music artist that have sold 1,000 records. Know what I'm saying? Because fashion and music always been tied together.
Yeah.
But right now we seeing a rise of the people that we recognize in fashion becoming stars more than ever. So what you were just saying, like how people are approaching you, I think it's only gonna continue to grow.
Yeah, it is. It is for real. It's getting bad. Like,
is it something that you really had to adjust? Because you know we still live in Chicago, you know what I'm saying, and we still know the pitfalls of our city. We try to navigate through them the best way we can, you know what I'm saying,
right.
and do right by everybody. But even if you do right by everybody, there's still gonna be some motherfucker out there that don't like you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't really be worried about that. It ain't really bad to the point where it's like it's bad people coming up to me. It's like it's all love. Like people really be showing me love when they see me outside. So
do it make you second think your movement?
Yeah, all the time. You got to. You can't get too comfortable, you know.
That's what's up. But so how do you feel about the overall scene of Chicago as far as fashion? Because right now, the scene in Chicago, we taking off, bro. Like, we just had Complex Con out here. We got All-Star Game coming out here. We got, you know what I'm saying? We got RSVP. We got Fat Tiger. We got the Fashion Geeks. The list go on and on. And all these brands that we starting to see bubble, doing big shit. So how do you feel about the overall scene of Chicago?
Chicago turned right now with music, clothing lines, everything. Like Chicago got a lot of stuff going on right now. They turned.
Yeah, and but like specifically, you being from out west, do you feel like out west get the recognition it deserves?
Nah,
because I'm somebody that I grew up in Chicago. I grew up mainly on the south side, but I stayed somewhere everywhere. And one thing that I know, one thing that I can say and I can stand on is out south and out west is almost like two different cities. It's almost like two different worlds. The way we dress out south and the way y'all dress out west is two. Like you could tell somebody, especially back in the day, you could tell somebody from out west. Like, oh, bro must be from out west. You know what I'm saying? Like, so y'all been doing different shit for a long time, and y'all been leading the way in a lot of fashion lanes.
Yeah.
But I don't think y'all ever got the respect that I feel like y'all deserve. How you feel about it?
We don't get the respect we deserve. It ain't really a lot of rappers from Chicago, from out west. Y'all got all the rappers out south. Like clothing lines out south. Like you can't really name like shit that's coming from out west really on the positive note. So nah. But I feel like we really turned right now if you really ask me, but nah.
I mean if we're gonna Chicago rappers, I mean y'all had some good rappers. I mean
we got
Lufo,
Twister.
You had Young Pappy.
But he from up north, really. Right?
Oh well, he kind of was from up north.
I'm talking about like really out west, like
right,
out west type shit, like
right.
We ain't really had nobody.
Yeah. So you feel like you feel like out west get the respect?
No, they don't. We don't.
Do
We
you see
don't.
it coming?
Yeah, for sure.
Is there without taking this, because this interview is about you, but
Mhm.
is there any other things that you see in out west going on that you be like, man, this is, along with what I'm doing, they doing something. And I think we collectively is building like the recognition from the west side of Chicago.
To be honest, bro, I just stay in my lane, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I just try to figure out how I can do better, but I feel like out west don't get the credit they deserve. But I really just be staying in my lane.
But
I really try to just put on for out west, like if I like speak on stuff, I'd be like, yeah, I'm really doing this for out west, like shit like that. Cause we
yeah,
don't get the recognition we deserve. Like I'm an actual positive thing coming from out west, so I try to like push that, you know.
yeah. Do you think because it is limited things that get exposure? I'm not saying, because I wouldn't even sit here and say it ain't things going on out west. I'm gonna sit here and say, like, because it's limited
Mm-hmm.
exposure. Like, do you think that created an atmosphere that was perfect for you to boom? Because ain't too many other people doing what you're doing, like the way you doing it and making the noise you making. So it made it like that much easier for you, or do you think it made it
No,
more of a challenge?
not really. I feel like if my shit was weak, like if people didn't like my shit, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. Like I feel like if I was out west or out south, my brand would still be where it's at right now. I don't really feel like it was easy for me because there's nobody from out west with a clothing line that's big as mine. I just feel like if I was out west, up north, out south, it still would be the same thing.
Is there something that you want to do but you haven't done yet? Speaking of, like, I done seen collections where, you know what I'm saying, I done seen brands start with shirts,
Mm-hmm.
then they come with the whole jumpsuit, sweats, underwear, socks, shoes. What is there, like, where are you trying to take this? How far are you trying to take it?
I want to get into jeans, and then I wanted to do kid clothes, which I just dropped yesterday. I just dropped a new collection. Uh, Scoop era toddler clothes. I got 2T through 6T, and they eating that up. When I dropped it, they ate it up. I just dropped it yesterday. That's what I want to get more into, like the kids, cause like my brand is like a friendly brand, like, and then it's a baby as a logo, so I feel like that tie in perfect with the kids. So that's what I'm gonna focus on. It's something I've been wanting to do for a long time, but I just never decided to do it until now. I feel like it's the perfect time to start right now. So that's what I'm more focused on right now is the kid clothes.
And do you see yourself like creating a retail space, or do you want to keep it personal the way it is, to where people, you know what I'm saying, like, can order online?
I like it how I got it now, but I know I'm gonna need a website eventually. But I was thinking about opening up a store, but I don't really know about that right now.
Cause
It's
one,
still early, to be
yeah,
honest. It's
yeah,
still early.
it is. But right now, like I said, I'm sitting down with Scoop from Scoop Era, that one of the hottest brands in the city, flat out. Whether you're talking out west, out south, wherever you're talking about, one of the hottest brands in the streets right now. And I'm glad to be an early part on it,
Mhm.
play an early part on it. But let's just talk about more fashion related topics. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because I feel like there's so much shit going on. Like where, for instance, I'm interested in your point of view on this. When all that shit happened with Gucci, Burberry, and all that, with that racist shit that they had did,
Mhm.
well, how you feel about that? Like, I'm saying, because like with me, I'm looking like, man, you know what? Fuck them.
Right.
We need to buy more Scoop Era anyway.
Yeah.
We don't need to be buying they shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, you personally, because we rock this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got on some shoes right now. You got on some shoes right now. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like, so we do fuck with designers. But, you know what I'm saying? Did that turn you off in any type of way? Like, man, you know what, man? Fuck them.
It ain't really turned me off no type of way, like, cause I only wear my brand. Like I probably mix it with a designer shoe, but like as far as like shirts and shit like that, I only wear my brand, and I feel like people gonna still shop with them regardless, bro. It don't really matter if they did that shit. You see right now, people still going to Gucci buying that shit. Like it don't really affect me. I mean, it was some racist shit, but it don't really affect me.
Do you think we'll ever see a time where it won't be about like you from out west, you from out south, you from up north, you from over east? We just we all just all about our money. You see that? Do you see that time coming?
It could be like that. I mean, it's not a bad thing that people label from out south, out west. It's not a bad thing. It's just like it don't really matter to me, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm just.
I'm glad when people look at me, they be like, oh yeah, he's from out west. Like, I'm glad they look at that like that.
Yeah, because I'm speaking from the standpoint of events that happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You see a lot of events happen Logan Square, or you know what I'm saying, like somewhere downtown. But
Mm-hmm.
when it come to these pop-ups, or when it come to these exclusive releases, you don't see them far south. You don't see them out west. That's what I'm saying. Like, do you think it'll just get to the point where people acknowledge the entire city as a whole as like the entire city is dope, not just like Logan Square or this little community downtown? Because
Yeah, I feel like it can get like that. Like, I done been to a lot of pop-up shops out south. Like, that's mostly where I be going. Like, when I do pop-up shops, it's out south. Like, every time somebody have a pop-up out south, they hit me up, I'll do it. But I ain't really been doing no pop-up shops like that lately. But they always show love and be like, yeah, I want you in this pop-up shop. So I feel like it can get better.
Do you see yourself collabing with any brands?
Nah, people be asking me, but I feel like I got my own lane. I can't even see my brand collabing with nobody else. Like, it wouldn't even make sense, to be honest. And then I'm so early in it. Like, I'm just wanting to focus on myself. Like, I think people be forgetting I only been doing it for a year, so I'm just really trying to focus on myself and try to find ways to get better. Like, you know.
Do you think you've been getting the support that you deserve?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I got a major support.
No. Let me rephrase that. You not support from like the consumer standpoint. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about the old heads, the OGs. Like, hey, shorty, I see what you're doing. Let me show you this manufacturer that can print your shirt for less. Let me show you how to do this. If you want some mesh shorts, I can take you to the manufacturer. Have you been getting that type of support?
No. Don't nobody really reach out to me like that. People will show love, but it ain't love like that.
Right, to give you some information that'll help you grow.
Yeah, but I don't even ask. Like, everything I did on my own. Like, I don't even ask for, I don't ask for vendors. I don't ask for none of that. Everything I did on my own.
That's what's up. And I think at the end of the day, that's something that you can stand on and be proud of. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, ain't nobody helped me do this shit. I did this shit on my own. You feel me? It's a different sense of pride when you do it that way. Mm-hmm. But I do feel like, you know what I'm saying, when I do, this is my personal opinion. I feel like as a city, if we see somebody doing something positive and we can offer, we might know such and such that can put you in tune with such and such. I think we should be at a point where I'm comfortable enough, like, helping you in that way. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I feel like we don't do that enough, and that's something that we should do, because if the more you grow, you shine the light on the west side of Chicago and Chicago in general. For those outside of Chicago, the more we win together, the bigger our city look, the more unity our city got, and the more we just gonna keep shit rocking. Right. But you know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, it's just part one. I'm looking forward. We're gonna do a follow up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe next year, because I know this shit ain't gonna stop. This ain't no fly by night shit. Sure. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of all the work that you've been doing, bro. From being on the outside looking in. I love what you're doing, bro. And anything you need from me, don't hesitate to reach out, bro. Like, gotcha. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for that. You know what I'm saying? Is there anything that we left off the table that we didn't talk about? Nah, we hear everything, really. We hear everything. Man, I appreciate you taking the time out to come see me, man. Appreciate it. And bro, definitely bless me with the shirt. You feel me? So if you're not familiar, you need to get familiar, man. Stop playing yourself, man. Get in tune, man. Flight School TV with Scoop. Appreciate it. We out.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
What's good TV?